Necessary. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. This segment is going to be brought to you by Guns and Gear, located right out there on Highway 51 at Yandale Road, right next door to Little Willie's Meat Market. Hey, look, man, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I can't think of two things that go together better than guns and barbecue. If I owned a gun or a barbecue store, I'd own both. We would have both. But if you don't have both, the next best thing is having them next door to each other. Good Lord. I love some barbecue. But get out there, see Hunter and the team at Guns and Gear, the home with no limit ammo. Make sure you're following them on social media. They share a deal of the day every day. They're on their Facebook page. It's Guns and Gear. And look, I try to share them here and there. They had a cool shotgun yesterday as the deal of the day. I should probably have paid more attention to what it was if I was going to talk about it on the radio, but it was black. It was tactical. It looked mean. It looked like it would make a Democrat mad. It was a big, angry looking gun. It may jump out of the closet. Anyway, I'm sorry. But check out gunsandgearms.com or give them a call, 601-707-5713. And let's see here, man. We have got a call on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, good morning, caller. You're on there.
Yes. I'm calling because, I was hearing you talking about, Jackson and the leadership, the mayoral leadership, the government. And, the crime in Jackson, like, we complain all day long. We can complain all day long. But if there's no solutions for people, then we have to deal with what we have. We have to deal with the hand that we've been dealt. Who's running for elections? Look at who's running for elections. When you have a Republican person running in Jackson for mayor, who is that?
It ain't going to happen. That's what I was saying earlier. In Jackson, I mean, you have to vote for a Democrat. You don't have a chance of winning as a Republican. I don't think you really have a chance of winning as a independent, but you definitely don't have a chance of winning as a Republican.
You can't say you don't have a chance when you really don't have anybody running. And I'm gonna be honest. Like, I can't blame Lumumba for everything that's going on in Jackson. You have to put blame, but you need to have solutions as well. And the crime in Jackson are primarily being created by the young people of Jackson. And the parents are fed up. The parents who do raise their children are fed up. The parents who have realized that their child is out of control are fed up. And there are no options for them. They want to get their child help. They know their child is out there running rampant. But the mental health system is not helping at all. And that's everywhere. As a parent myself, I had to deal with my own child, trying to get help for my own child, and being told that unless my child is failing, like literally they have to go ahead and fail in order for any help to be given. And so I had to go and get my child some help on my own outside of the school system, even though I'm paying my taxes for them to do that. So it's a bigger situation than we realize. And my thing is, it's like we can talk all day, we can complain all day, but if there's no solutions, if there's nothing being offered or given, then it's going to stay the same. The crime in Jackson is not any different from any city in the United States.
Oh, yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Let me hold on one second. When you look at social media, most of this stuff that is going on with these kids is stuff that is trending on social media. It is a social media issue. We're at a different time than we were in the 80s and the 90s or whatever you want to call it. There's a bigger issue here. Yes, we may have the highest crime in the nation, but how far apart are those crimes? How far apart those statistics are?
So the problem is we're in front of cities with 2 and 3 times the population as we are. And look, I appreciate you calling in, and you're hitting on some great points. And I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm playing devil's advocate from my perspective. Jackson It has some major problems. And we don't blame everything on Lumumba, but Lumumba's not doing anything to talk about having solutions. He has no solutions. But solution A, quit running off cops. Solution B, invest more money into the public school system and change the way whatever they're doing, it ain't working. I don't know.
Talking about
JPS. And I don't know what you do about the situation with parents that are not involved with their kids, but this is a problem in Jackson more so than anywhere else around Jackson. And I can't talk for the rest of the country. I just live in central Mississippi. That's why I try to focus my show here. But you don't have, of course you have crime in Rankin and Madison County. You have kids doing bad stuff there too. Nobody denies that. But they're not out killing one another at the clip they are in Jackson. I don't know what's...
But they are. You just don't hear about it.
No, nonsense. They are not out killing each other. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, and see, this is the thing with, you and I are talking. I love the fact that we're on two different sides. We're able to have a conversation.
Absolutely. I love it.
I want to bring a view from the other side because I am the other side. And I don't want the hate. I want a solution.
Well, I'll tell you what. Clear your calendar and come in here and do the show 2 hours with me Monday morning.
Oh Lord.
Well, I tell you, the offer is extended. My email address is clay@wyab.com. If you ever want to come in here and sit down and have a real conversation, you're absolutely invited.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Please do. Look, I got some other callers on hold. I appreciate your call, and you have a blessed day and stay safe out there.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's take this other caller here real quick on the Matt Hiker Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, good morning, friend.
Hey, brother, how you?
Hey, I got a way we could do stuff about the parenting situation.
Start
incentivizing it.
Start charging them with the crimes their kids commit as accessories.
Hey, that's what they did when we had the old truant officer system.
Yep.
You remember that was the, we talk about how we feared police and stuff growing up. The one that we really feared the most was the one we didn't see all the time, and that was the truant officer. You remember that?
Do we even have truancy officers in Jackson anymore?
As long as you were going to school, you never saw them, but they were there. They were like that unspoken thing you didn't see. You had them. They were the precursor to the SROs. They weren't always at the school, but they were around.
Yep.
I worked with one that was a truant officer in my early years of law enforcement. He handled all the juvenile stuff. We had them. You just never really seen them until you knew they existed, but you didn't see them until you screwed up, and it was never nothing nice. And the parents would get dinged for that too, especially if they were on any type of assistance. You understand? Mm-hmm. So when the young lady calls in talking about, I need this help, I need that help. Please, I'm not trying to be rude, but what are you doing? Better yet, what is the father doing? You know what I mean? Because my mom and dad was told that I had, hyperactive tendencies, and I, couldn't focus in school. Guess what fixed that? Martial arts, technology, and a good old-fashioned belt whipping.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
So, I'm not trying to call her parenting skills into question, but good Lord, stop trying to ask the government and assistance to help raise your child, and stop having them if you can't take care of them.
Yeah, well, what the most bothersome about what she was saying was she really thinks that there's 15 and 16-year-old kids in the suburbs killing one another, and it's just not being reported. Man, this liberal media in Jackson would be all over that like white on rice.
Yeah, they would be.
They would love to paint that narrative that white kids or black kids from the suburbs, but suburban kids were out of control, killing one another. Nonsense. I mean, I appreciate her having an actual conversation, but man, the fact that she thinks that tells me that we got a real problem here.
And then when you make that loaded statement, every city in America has crime. Yeah, every liberal Democrat city has high volume crime. You don't see that crap in any conservative ran city in this country.
Well, it's like it's just like the deal with Jackson being number one in STDs. We're number one. Well, they're number one with 175,000 people in the city. Baltimore is number two with 500,000, and they're mind-boggling.
Hey, let me add this. Let me add this little factoid in this whole mental illness discussion. Now, I understand the mental illness system is broken, but let me say this right here, and this is going to be very controversial because I'm not a controversial guy. A lot of these people that had these children with behavior problems were receiving some type of assistance. We used to call it a crazy check back in the day, right? But when these kids get old, when these people get old enough, and you've been paid by the state to take care of them, and now that they're not marketable, right? You leave them on everybody else to take care of, and that's part of the problem you got with the mental illness system on the street. The mental ill on the streets is because you had some type of caregiver or parent getting a check, and they did not invest that check in that child's well-being and health, and then they wind up on the street because they're not marketable anymore. That's the real issue.
Yep, Derrick, I got to go, brother. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye. All right, I think we got Thomas on hold. Stay there. We're going to get to you to close the show. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary. Look, we got about 2 minutes of the show left. Let's jump straight to the calls. I'm not sure which line is who. So on the Mac Haika Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on the air. You got about 1 minute. Oh, no, I don't know what's going on. Hey, are you there? Man, I'm not sure what happened there. We lost that call. Let's see this other one.
Okay.
Hey, there you are. Okay.
I'm responding to the guy. I'm going through waterworks right now, but I'm responding to the guy who's assuming that I'm a bad parent, and I know I'm not a bad parent. I do everything that I know humanly possible, just like any parent in this world. I have given my child everything they needed. I do not depend on public assistance. I am from the ghetto. I live in a suburb now. I know what it takes to raise a child, and I know what these children in Jackson are going through. I just don't think the solution is villainizing everybody. That guy that came on there, I can't respond to him. And so for him to come on there and say that about me and what I say, I'm saying those things because those are facts, because I live in a suburb and I see these things. I see the police officers. The only difference is it's not being put on social media. Right. And again, we're going back to social media.
Hey, I got to say, I got to take this next call, but I will say this: you moved out of Jackson because it's bad if you live in a suburb now. We'll talk later. Bye.
Exactly. You're right.
Got to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I hate to cut people off, and I accidentally lost the other phone call there, but we're out of time today. I thought I had Thomas on hold. He said he was, but couldn't find him. Great. It ended up being a great show today, minus that train wreck of a first segment where I was all over the place. I appreciate you all calling in. We'll be back here live in the studio tomorrow, 7 a.m. We'll have Anson Walker in for the second half of the show with our weekly Walker Lifestyle segment. Y'all get out, support these great sponsors here. And come see me out there at Ellis Autoplex. I'll be there from about 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. tonight at ellisautoplex.com. ClayEdwardsShow.com for the podcast. Jim Thorne next.
Thanks for listening. Tune in tomorrow at 7 a.m. as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.